Get going. A little late. Hey guys, long time no see. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This is of the 90s film starring the gorgeous Lara Flynn Boyle and the always capable Timothy Hutton, the psychological thriller, The Temp. Yeah, suspenseful, classy, and slick. She'll eliminate the competition permanently. Yeah, I haven't done this movie yet, so it's about 96 minutes, 1993, 30 years ago. So what better time than to do it now? A Paramount movie, so you can see this on Paramount Plus. Let's get started, shall we? Now, I know Josh can watch this because he's awake by now. This is not an erotic thriller. It's a psychological thriller. Like Psycho, something like that. David Permit. Tom Holland. No, it's not Tom Holland, the actor. It's the director, Tom Holland, who did Fright Night. The original Fright Night and Child's Play. The original. Hunn's a good actor. He's very underrated. I think he got an Oscar nomination. He's so good. Dark Half, I think he was in that also. Something like that. And he was good in that too. Dwight Schultz, yeah, the voice of Mung from Chowder and from the A-Team show. Oliver Platt's in this movie. Steven Weber, yeah, I know who he is. Faye Dunaway. Maura Tierney. I think she was in Liar Liar. So that close-up of it is really good. Plus, this movie's nice and short. How long is it? An hour and change shorter than Oppenheimer. And I know I keep harping on that. It's too long. 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours to do a movie that could have been half of that. Production designer Joel Schiller. I know. I heard a lot of foreign accents last week when I went to Hershey Park, and I'm okay, guys. There was a bomb threat, but I'm okay. I had to evacuate. There's Faye Dunaway. I miss early 90s films. You know, when movies look like films. They look like an actual film and not a digital effect. Marketing. Hey, John, this movie's pretty good for what it is. It didn't deserve the negative reviews. It's good. People can act in this movie. Also, I agree that movies nowadays are over 2 hours, can never top Lord of the Rings. Or The Hobbit, or Endgame, or even like early stuff like The Godfather. Why? I know this guy. He was in Diary of a Kid. The Mario movie went back to basics. It wasn't in reinventing the animated wheel. It did something for the fans, and that's why we went to go see it. And there's no Bentos in this movie, which is a huge plus. Tom Holland is British. I think the guy that directed this movie. But he has a good detail. He knows how to direct actors and use makeup effects instead of just CG. Excuse me. Movies are too long now. Every drama has to be over 3 hours. Every action movie has to be 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm like, just get to the point. Do it in 2 hours or less, and I'll be fine. The Marvels does not need to be 3 hours. Get in, get out, and go home. That's what I say for the rest of the year. Well, yeah, I know. Hot air does rise. It was very hot today, even though disk, yeah, now everything's on a hard drive. We're 6 minute. We're 6 minutes in. This is the first thing I saw. Hutton. This is the first movie I saw him in. Yeah, I mean, uh, uh, guys are so lucky. They don't have to. We don't. We never get pregnant. Hmm. This feels like a Basic Instinct or a Fatal Attraction, but it's not as violent. And Lara Flynn Boyle is delicious. I don't care what anyone says. Arsenio Hall. I remember this show. Who? I didn't watch it because I was a kid when Arsenio Hall was on his talk show. Summer vegetables. Summer's almost over. We got another month until fall, and I can't wait, man. Comic Con is in the fall, and I'm gonna soak in that glory. There's a leg. Yep, beautiful leg. 9 minutes into the movie because they don't have 2 hours to do this. So. Oh my god, you are so yummy. Yeah, a woman is yummy to me. Even when they get older and their face is a little wrinkled, I'm like, if they're still a woman and they didn't change themselves, why not? Her voice is so soothing. I know. Women excite me too, Timothy Hutton. Hello. Hmm. Guys think I just care about faces. No, I care about if they're still a woman, if they're still got the total package. Hmm. Hmm. God, her voice is so sexy. Computers, yeah, they had those in 1993. Yep, bosoms. If this movie was made this year, then the Hollywood would have had this movie have Hobbs. Who's Hobbs? Wait, oh, the hobo or Florence? No, Florence can't act. This is a well-directed movie. I don't see what the problem is. Is it cliche? Yeah, but it's not an erotic thriller. Doesn't need to be. That's not the movie it's meant to be. I think it's an underrated film from '93. Hmm. Okay. That was awesome. Is that Lynn Shay? Yeah, that's Lynn Shay. She's still an attractive woman even in the '70s. I'm like, yes, age does not matter to me unless you're like 90 and you can't move. Then it's a problem. But if you're mobile, I'm coming because yeah, you don't know how I felt when I met Amy Jo Johnson at Comic-Con, and she was like almost 50 at the time, and I'm like, God, you're still so beautiful, just like you were when I was a kid. Mm. Oh my God. I like women with freckles. That's why you think I'm so crazy about Caitlin Deaver. She's young and beautiful and has the nose of an angel that was carved by angels. It's like I rest my feet now. No, I had some fruit for lunch. I don't want to eat anything heavy because I need to lose some weight the rest of this month and in September because I don't want to be 208 pounds by Comic Con. Wait, what was that? That's a hornet. Squish it. Squish it. Thank you. You have to kill those things, yeah. Bees and wasp and hornets, if they're in your way, yeah. I had to kill some bugs today because they were in my way. And there's a lot of them. Bugs are a menace, except for butterflies and moths and oh, God, her voice just makes my skin, you know, it makes me shake. A basketball game. The Trailblazers against the Golden State Warriors thing? Is it the There's Steven Weber. Let me see. Those teams still exist to this day in the NBA 30 years later. I never saw a Trailblazers game. I mostly saw the Knicks or the Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan was playing. Harry Potter. There's a Is there a kid named Harry Potter in this movie? Weird. Yes, there's a horror movie in 1986, Josh, called Trolls. Not It's no relation to the animated movie Trolls. That there's a The main actor in the movie, his name is Harry Potter, and that was before the books were made. So it's not an original name. J.K. Rowling did not come up with that name. She saw that movie and said, I'm going to use that name, and it's going to be the most famous name in all of literature and kids entertainment. Because in Lord of the Rings, not everybody knows the name of the main character, which is Frodo. In The Hobbit, it's Bilbo. But in Harry Potter, his name is in all the books, except for the Fantastic Beasts, which he's not in. Yikes! And this movie goes at a fast pace. I'm never looking at my watch as like, oh God, will this movie just end already? And it's not a horror movie, so I don't want to do it for October. You're so beautiful. Mm. I treat a woman like royalty because that's how I want them to treat me. Like I'm a prince or king. But not if they're foreign and I can't understand what the word they're saying. That's a problem. That's a deal breaker for me. Yeah, excuse me, Kathleen Kennedy. I want to look at a woman that's feminine, that has long flowing hair and a beautiful voice, and a petite figure. Lara Flynn Boyle is so desirable. I would love to meet her at Comic Con. Yeah, I would let her sign this. I just said I care what happened to your face. You're still that woman that I fell in love with back in '94 when I was 9 years old when I saw him Baby's Day Out, and I heard that voice and I melted like butter. I was 9. That was 2 years after Home Alone 2, and I melted like butter. Hmm. I will meet any woman that I grew up with watching and is not like in a wheelchair. I'll go see them. Because Rachel Lee Cook, I saw her last year at Comic Con and I was floored. She's still just as lovely as ever. God, you're so exciting. And even her scenes in Men in Black 2, her introduction is one of the hottest things I've seen in any of those movies. Yeah, sorry, Tessa Thompson, but you didn't have an entrance like that where she comes in like black and lingerie, and I'm like, oh my God. Really? Honey brunch. Yeah, excuse me that as a man, a heterosexual man, I want to enjoy a woman's company. Yeah, I don't want to just look at them. I want to be around them. I want to smell them. I want to touch their hair. Because again, I'm not an incel. I like to meet people in person, not hide behind a computer and with a mask on, trying to ruin people's lives. I don't do that. I don't do that. He's gonna pump her. We're 21 minutes in, and he's so good, man. Such a powerhouse actor. Never got any blockbuster hits like Pratt and some of the other people that don't deserve it as much. Because a lot of people get success and they let it go to their head and then they start talking crap on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear it. The rest of the year, I want to hear the voices of the people I'm going to meet at Comic Con: Zachary Levi, Mercedes Varnado, or John Carpenter, whoever I can meet. I'm going to say, I love your work and I love what you do, and you're awesome. You mean something to me. That's what I need to say. Oh, your voice is so soothing. After hearing Haley Atwell's haunting voice that made my skin crawl in a bad way, hearing this is like therapy for me. So if there's the Trailblazers are from are they from like Texas or wait, let me see. Let me see. Let me check for a second. MVA. They're from Portland. The Portland Trailblazers, yeah. They won a championship back in 19. They haven't won a championship since 1977. Wow, it's been a long time. Over 40 years. Careful. Yep, you know what's going to happen, guys. Never touch a paper shredder with your bare hands. Once somebody plugs it, yeah, not me. I'm never going to do that. Oh, this is cringe. Because Tom Holland, it was a horror director. He did Fright Night and Child's Play. This is not horror, though. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, that's the most cringe-worthy scene in the movie. Yeah. What idiot puts their hand inside of a paper shredder? Yeah. Yeah, that's Lin Shay. That's the most cringe-worthy scene in the entire movie because Holland knows how to do, disturbing images, disturbing visuals, and Fright Night and Child's Play. That's a terrifying scene. Yeah, never put your hand in a paper shredder. You never know what's going to happen, or a saw or anything, because it could go off and then you lose a limb. I want to keep these. I want to keep all my limbs and all my organs. I'm not losing them like my dad did. He lost his gallbladder years ago. I can't lose that. I'm drinking water for the rest of the day. No soda, no booze, nothing. No. Always unplug something before you put your hand in it, no matter what it is. It could be the coffee maker. You never know. Even a lamp can hurt you. Trust me. I got electrocuted in the basement a lot of times with the lamp. Yeah, the acting is really good. What's the problem here? These critics just love to trash movies that are not as bad as they seem. It's not even boring. Oppenheimer's boring. There's no gore in that. There's just a bunch of people talking and a bomb going off. That's it. That doesn't sound exciting. Doctor Strangelove did it better decades ago. I don't smile at people unless I'm sincere about it. I'm check my battery power. 65%. Yeah, it's still good. This movie's not 2 hours. When it's done, I'll plug my. These women are so beautiful. Even Lynn Shay, yeah, she's still a knockout. Because I like years of experience more than a teeny bopper that doesn't even hasn't even tasted life yet. That are like 13 to 16. Again, I say yum. I've seen some people putting their hands in their paper shredders while they've been plugged in. Yeah, never do that. I don't do that anymore. No, I want to keep my fingers and my hand. That's a really disturbing scene. It's probably the most violent scene in the movie. That's not a murder. Who would put their hand inside of a machine? Don't. It's dangerous. Even a computer can shock you. No one does that anymore. I don't want to be married to my job. I just want to do it and then go home and be with my significant other. That's why I work. I don't want to be obsessed with work like some people in my life, where all they do is work and they never have time to play a video game or watch a movie or watch a TV show. You got to balance. Life is a balance. You can't be too off balance and you can't be like too over balance. You got to be right in the middle. If you've never seen the movie Afterglow, I recommend it because that's one of the sexiest roles Lara Flynn Boyle has ever done. It's a little bit too long, but that's because Julie Christie's in it. And she's an artsy fartsy independent actress. That's why. You got a paper cut. Last. I don't care about millennials and Gen Z. Well, not millennials, Gen Z and Generation Alpha that they don't even know who these actors are. They're like, who are these actors? Have they been in the MCU? No, not yet. I respect the past for what it was, and the present for what it is, and the future for what it could be, as long as this writer strike ends. He's got his. This guy has a bad temper. He's like the guys in the First Order. Molasses is good. This woman could talk about. She could talk about pregnancy, and it would be sexy to me. I'm like, God, your voice is so sexy. Hmm. You'd be surprised what a woman's voice does to my psychological profile. She's got a hot voice. What can I say? Like Kristen Wiig. I can hear that woman talk about her nails for 3 hours. I'm like, yeah, go on. Because again, it's not just about the body for me. It's about whatever else they can do for me. Their soft skin and their soft voices and their beautiful hair. Hello, beautiful creature. Her voice is nice too. Let me check. She's 58 now. She's a little. She was in Liar Liar, yeah. Semi Pro, ER, News Radio. She's very soothing too. Because after the actresses I had to endure this year in the MCU, the DCU, and elsewhere, yeah, it's good to hear an actress that doesn't make me, go limp. We're 32 minutes in. We're about a third of the way through the movie. I want to meet women at Comic Con. I want to take pictures with them. I want to find another Green Lantern. Yeah, because why not? He wasn't tarnished by the DCU. He wasn't even in the DCU. Only in animation. That's it. Hopefully, he'll get his own show or movie in the 2020s. Yeah, I treat every actress with respect. If I don't like them, I stay the hell away from them. That's what I do with everybody in my life that I don't want to be near. I keep a distance, not just 6 feet apart, but 100 feet apart. Because I like my space. I don't like people in my personal space when I don't ask for it. Salem. When I went to Burger King yesterday, there were a lot of foreigners that cannot understand what they were saying. Yeah, that's why I don't go to Burger King anymore. I went on vacation, but I had lunch and I didn't order anything. My dad did, and I ate it, and I was out. I do not want to deal with the. I do not want to deal with people that can't even learn the language and live here illegally. You know. Ugh, a hornet came out of his mouth. What is this? Candyman? That's bees, but still, hornet, bees, wasps. They're all in the same family. Oof. He got an allergic. I don't go to Burger King anymore in Brooklyn. I go to McDonald's, Wendy's, Five Guys. I'd rather even eat at Target than to eat at a Burger King. There's a new Target that opened in my area. I went to it. It's pretty good. Oh my God, your voice. Ugh. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York. Yeah. I never hide my excitement for a woman. Never. No matter what movie or show I watch, you will hear me. Them's fighting words. It's here. Hmm. Lara Flynn Boyle's voice sounds sexy than Haley. Yeah, it does, because she's the only one of the Haleys that I enjoy is Steinfeld, because she's also got a gorgeous voice and beautiful body, and she can sing, and she's got everything I want. Yeah, nearly everything I want. She's very young, but again, she's female. She's none of this non-binary crap. It's a good shot of her face on the glass. Oh yeah. This is worth doing again. It's been a while, so. This one deserves a collector's edition, because this is a bare bones DVD. It's widescreen, but there's no special features on it. That's why I wanted to do a podcast. Mm. What do you think about the trailer for Migration? It looks okay. It's with those ducks. It looks like a streaming movie. I don't need to see it in theaters. The next thing I'm seeing is Cinema Day. I'm gonna go that day in September, and then I'm seeing the Marvels. That's it. Maybe Dune if it comes out. If it gets pushed, I can wait. I think the same way about women. Mm, I got chills. What did you think about Across the Spider Verse? I haven't seen it, Ethan. Haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting. I might wait till next year, because it's not on it's not on Netflix yet. It's not going to be on Disney Plus anytime soon, so I can wait. I'm not seeing 2 hours and 20 minutes of an overlong story that could have been 90 minutes or an hour and 45 at the most. These animated Spider-Man movies don't need to be longer than the live action ones. They could be 2 hours or less. That's it. It's not studio interference. You don't need 45 different Spider-Man in the background to pad time. Sorry, you can make it shorter. You can. It's for kids, for crying out loud. This movie is only 96 minutes, not 2.5 hours. This movie didn't deserve to hate it got from critics. No, it didn't deserve to flop either, because I've seen worse movies from '93 that were longer and more boring. Mm-hmm. I don't think any Power Rangers are coming to Comic Con this year. I looked that up, and There hasn't been one announcement of any Power Rangers coming to Comic-Con this year because of Jason's untimely death. But it's fine. If there's nobody there, at least I'm going to have... There are actors I'm looking forward to seeing that are not... They're not going to support SAG and just disappear. No. Conventions are nothing to be... Nothing... I will say this right now. No convention, no matter what it is, comics, horror, sci-fi, or even adult films, never be embarrassed to be there. Never. Always take pride in that. I would be more embarrassed if it was a gay convention for like the LGBT. I'm like, I'm not part of that. I'm not. I don't have any rainbows in this room. Do you see any rainbows here? Look, no rainbows. No rainbows. Just me. Oh, Lynn Shay. The older she gets, the more desirable she gets. I don't know what it is about her. She's just so busy and she doesn't feel old. Because with Helen Mirren, she's getting up there in age that I'm like, you still can act, but man, age is that, time has not been kind to her face. It's like she got wrinkles like the Emperor. I've seen Lynn Shay in recent thing, and she looks better than Helen Mirren because she doesn't do as much stressful productions, and her movies are shorter than Helen Mirren's. $42 minutes in. Cards. Yeah, that's what you got to pay with things now. Cards. Because with Comic-Con, I don't want to be distracted. Last year, I got hustled by a bunch of guys after I left, but that's not going to happen this year. I will mace them in the face if they bother me. Like, just stay away from me. I don't want your stupid CDs. I don't want your bootleg movies. I want nothing to do with hustlers. I'm going to Comic-Con to give the money to people that deserve it more than a bunch of gangsters outside the Javits Center. This is her beautiful outfit in the movie. About 44 minutes in. Peach. I do miss Lara Flynn Boyle. I wish she would do more. Look at his face. That says everything. You don't have to say any dialogue. It's just like Tom Holland is a good director. I must say that not the Spider-Man Tom Holland, the director Tom Holland. Even I think he did the Langoliers, which I know had terrible CGI in it, but his direction is not the problem. He did the best he could with that. It was a Stephen King story, but it's too long and there's a lot of bad CGI at the end. I know. Let it go. Yeah, well, I'll do that in November. I'm not going to do it now. Are you going to put this movie among the best films of 1993? Maybe an honorable mention, because I didn't see this in the theater. I was only 8 when this came out. But it's one of the underrated films of 1993. My favorite is Jurassic Park, no doubt, because I love that movie so much. It's like one of my favorite films ever. Not in my top 10, but like top 100, it would definitely be there. The first Jurassic Park, because it meant so much to me. I saw that in the theater in 2013, and I was like, I was almost teary eyed. And Jurassic World Live was one of the better. It was better than the first two movies of the World's franchise. Hmm. Because it was shorter, and I cared about the characters, and it had heart. Surprisingly, there was no CGI. It was mostly the dinosaurs that were practical puppets, and there were puppeteers and animatronics, and they looked great. It works because it doesn't take me out of the illusion, because it's actually there. You can see it and feel it and touch it. 47 minutes. Let me check something here. There it is. What number? 7184. Okay. Okay. Got it. Sorry, I was just checking something. Yeah, 93, there were a lot of good movies that came out. They do look good. Oh my God. She bleeding? Oh my God. Yeah, this movie has some disturbing images. Oh my God. Did they put did they put blood in that? Did they put blood in that cookie? Yeesh. I thought molasses, it doesn't make your gums bleed. Oof. If a cookie makes me bleed, I'm going to stop eating it. I'm going to throw it away. I ate my peanut butter. It's freshly made. The Reese's peanut butter. I'm going to show it in September. If a cookie makes you bleed, get it out of your mouth, guys, immediately. Oof. Yeah. Tom Holland knows how to disturb people. I forgot that scene. Yeah. Oh, speak to me, baby. I've eaten Applebee's, and my blood, and I never coughed up blood in anything I ate there, whether it be a burger or fries or whatever. Never, because they know how to cook food right. They don't. That was a really disturbing scene. Yeah. While this is not a horror movie, it has a lot of horror images. The hand scene and the scene with the cookies. It's a good movie. Yeah. Again, Nolan, this is how you do it without boring me to death. 96 minutes, not 2 hours and 36 minutes. God, you're so good, Timothy Hutton. He's so good. He's like so intense, but he's not overacting. He's got the firmness, and he's got that screen presence that so many people don't even know about. I recommend seeing his films. He's really good here and in the dark half. So good. And I like that these people are human. They don't act like robots or like aliens. do normal thing, everyday human activities like camping and playing, tug of war. Yep, Hutton's down. Hmm. Maybe the reason why they put a scene where their blood in the cookies are R rating, yeah, because there's not a lot of F bombs in the movie. It's mostly disturbing violence scenes, imagery, but it works. It's not disgusting like some other movies I saw, like with Pain and Gain. Michael Bay goes out of his way. I'm going to rant on that movie probably this week, and he goes out of his way to make me uncomfortable. And I'm like, we get it, Bay. You're not doing an art film, but my God, does everybody in your movie have to be a douche or disgusting or just sexist or racist? No, it's too much. Like Bay doesn't know. He has to hire writers that know what they're doing, and he has to let them do the work and not him. You have gorgeous legs. Ooh. Because this movie's well written and there's nothing disgusting that takes me out of it. There's not a scene where a guy craps his pants in a hospital. That's gross. I didn't want to see that. Hello, you beautiful freckles. Mm. God, you are so gorgeous. That's a real lake too. There's no CGI here. Mm. I wouldn't recommend that because you don't know what's in the water. You are a treasure, Lara. After the shark attacks, I don't want to go in the ocean this year. Mm-mm. I went to a nice jacuzzi last week. A nice warm, calming jacuzzi that's safe from sharks. Bart food stock falling 6 points. Yeah, the stock market. Stock market. Good. My health comes first. I'm not going to jeopardize it. Tom Holland has one thing that a lot of the horror directors don't have today: atmosphere. Because most of them just either do jump scares, use CG, which is not needed in horror anymore. That's why that vampire movie in the ocean, the last of the Demeter, didn't do well because we got enough horror movies in the first half of the year. You need atmosphere. You don't need jump scares and CGI to make your movie interesting. See, this is very atmospheric, this scene. That was what was good about Meg too. You know why it's doing well? Because overseas people see the potential of how entertaining it is and not preachy. That's how you do it, Disney. Yep, another dead body. If this movie got an NC-17 rating, it would have lots of scenes that have sexual violence. Yeah, and it's not necessary. It's not telling a story. Here, the deaths mean something because she wants to get rid of all these guys one by one off screen. I want to lie down a little bit. The movie's almost over. We're about an hour in. Ashes. Because a movie like Blonde is just uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's not entertaining to see a woman suffering and be drugged out and raped for almost 3 hours. No, that's just unpleasant. I want to think of a woman in a positive light, the most positive that I can think of. Mm-hmm. This decade shook me a lot. 51%. No, I have enough. See, even these shots in this movie, the editing is done really well. Kylo Ren. I know. And I'll take a Timothy Hutton any day over Cillian Murphy. I'm just not a fan of him. He's got nice eyes. So what? He plays the same thing in every movie. For Nolan, he just does the same thing. And I'm tired of it. You're not American, dude. You're Irish. Yeah, you're a leprechaun. You're not freaking American. I don't buy you. Get away. Please. Win your Oscar and just go away, like Daniel Day-Lewis did. He won his third Oscar and then retired. Good for him. He didn't have to go do 15 other movies after that. Give somebody else a chance. Oh, that wasn't necessary. We're an hour in. See, and I didn't even feel it. If this was Oppenheimer, it'd just be the first hour of 3 hours. Too long. I'm not doing any 3 hour movies for podcasts this year. If I do Lord of the Rings, I got to do it in parts. No way I can do it in one sitting. Return of the King is too long. I'll find a hot spot and just stop and just get use scene selection. Really good shot. The score is good too. The cinematography, the acting, it's really good. I think this movie has definitely held up for 30 years. It's a lot better than some thrillers today, where they got to go overboard with CG and bad actors that I don't buy in a thriller. Tom Holland definitely knows what worked for Alfred Hitchcock when he did his thrillers in the 19 uh, what was it, the 50s and the 60s. Yeah. Fitting metaphor. Yeah, I'll put something else in it. She has the same haircut as Lara Flynn Boyle. Just like the last two Avengers films, I never felt the running time. No, I didn't. I was so invested that no matter what happened in the movie, I was going to go for it. I was going to be like, no, just tell the story you're telling. I was never bored. It had gorgeous visuals, great acting, and spectacle that, especially that final battle, was worth every second. I was just jumping out of my seat like a little kid. I didn't. I wouldn't. I haven't got that with. I haven't got that with Nolan since Interstellar, and that was a gorgeous looking movie. That's way better than Oppenheimer. It's shorter, and yeah, it is shorter than Oppenheimer by a few minutes, and it's got a better actor, Matthew McConaughey, who should have gotten an Oscar for that. But whatever. Or Anne Hathaway. Okay, we're almost done. You're never fully dressed without a smile. See that there's not a lot of F bombs. There's like a few. So close. So the basketball is black. I'm not going to be subtle around a woman. I'm not going to be subtle. Like there's some things I could be subtle about, but when it comes to how if I'm attracted to them, I'm not going to be subtle about it. I'm going to just lick my lips or be like, oh, you can see the expression on my face. People think that you have to be a certain way to get to get a woman's attention. No, I don't have to whistle at them. I know how to do it. And it's so much better to see a movie up here again and not inside of a car. Nope. Comic-Con's my priority after the summer's over. Getting a job and saving my money for Comic-Con. I already got a costume ready to go. I got stuff to get signed. I'm going to go in with a lot of momentum because I like, last year I loved it. I love being there. I didn't like being stuck in the house in 2020 and 2021 with no Comic-Con. I love looking at her. These close-ups are really well done. And they don't have to do a close-up of her, nether regions. They show enough. She's touching his hand. And they're gone. He's probably going to kill Steven Weber next. This tension would have worked best in Batwoman. If it had tension, maybe it could have worked, but it didn't. She's not intimidating at all, no matter who plays her. It's a terrible character. Probably the worst DC female character I've seen that was supposed to be taken seriously. No, I take Supergirl more seriously than her, or Wonder Woman, or even Green Lantern, the Jessica Cruz version. Because I cannot take a knockoff Batgirl as seriously with that stupid red wig and lesbianism. Just not gonna happen. Yes. She's pleasuring herself. Whoa, that came out of nowhere. Mm, you are so yummy. Yeah, I'm not going to look out. I don't look out my window to spy on people. I have better things to do. Because Disclosure that had Demi Moore, and while I like the acting, I just think the movie's too long. It's way too long. It's this movie, but added 30 minutes to it, and I'm like, it didn't need to be that long. It could have been an hour and 40 minutes. It didn't need to because it has Michael Douglas, and I think every movie he does needs to be over 2 hours. It was just too long. The movie proves that you can't cast someone based on their talent, not what skin color. Thank you, cinema fan. It's not about color. It's about talent. It's about what they can bring. It's about their inner beauty and outer beauty in a way. Color is just a nice frost. It's just icing on the cake, if you will. I love girls of color, but you can't force it where it doesn't belong. Disney found that out the hard way. That's why the Little Mermaid didn't make a billion because they pandered. An hour and 9 minutes. See, a lot of yelling, but it's not. It's done. The scenes are short. In Nolan's film, I bet there's like 3 hours of yelling about the bomb. And do I say is it a bad movie? No, it's just not my kind of film. It's too long. I'll need 2 days to finish that movie. Why is that funny? This is not a comedy. It's not. It's dead serious, but it's dead serious in a good way. Hmm. Well, that was a creepy smile. Movies are not supposed to preach, they're supposed to entertain. That should be your top priority in any movie, whether it's in the theaters, on TV, streaming, DVD, Blu ray, whatever. Make it the effort and we'll go see it. Yeah, we'll go see it. Everybody feels sorry for him. Yeah. They're like, Faye Dunaway, I'll say this. She's not as over the top here as she was in Supergirl, Josh. Trust me. There she's playing a Disney villain because she's like a witch with frizzy hair and with talk cast spells. She's like the evil queen or something. She's not a DC villain. That's why in the Supergirl TV show, she never was in the show, that witch. A lot of guys died in this movie. That is an Oscar-worthy actor right there. Again, suck it, Cillian Murphy. Even if you win an Oscar, it's going to be because of the nepotism or favoritism. Because the Oscars always like white guys that play these dramatic roles or they play crazy people. You're not going to beat Joaquin Phoenix's performance in Joker. That was Oscar-worthy from the moment he started laughing. Yeah, because it was short. It wasn't 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And people like, comic book movies, they can't be art. Yeah, they can. Hutton's just says he's off the deep end because again, this woman just pushed him. He's got off the deep end. I got to put the air a little bit colder in here because it's not medium, not high because it's not 90 today, but still. At least not all the characters die on like in Rogue One. No, here it's a small body count. Hutton doesn't die in this movie, which is good because I would have hated this film. So good, man. Now this is when they have the F bombs near the end. It's not in the first hour of the movie mostly. This is an underrated gem. I bought this on Amazon years ago. It still works too. Now, now we have. Those are just dollar bills. Now you have to take an Uber. You can't use cash in an Uber. You have to use a card. Because Rogue One, it would have been great if they didn't have to kill every character in the movie, except for the the legendary characters like Darth Vader and the droids and Leia. But it wasn't needed. It was just boring. It was over 2 hours long, and it has one of the most boring female actresses that's ever been in one of these prequels. Freaking Felicity Jones. We haven't seen her since that movie. She hasn't done much. Again, because she's boring. Vice President. An hour and 19 minutes. See, it's almost done. I couldn't do a 2.5 hour movie, guys. I need a break. September, I could do maybe a 2 hour movie, but not 2.5. She's wearing pink. That's a good shot. It's a pie shot. There's a French Connection looking shot. Oh, there's no breaks. Very thrilling. Fast and the Furious ain't got scenes like this because those are. There's nothing but mountain there. Just jump out of the car. Tom Cruise does it all the time. Wow, that was intense. And see, that was a short scene. It's not 5 minutes or 10 minutes long like a Fast and the Furious movie where they have to do car scenes for like 30 minutes. I'm like, less is more. This scene was what, like less than 2 minutes, and the breaks are cut. There's no CGI fight unlike movies now. Yeah, there's none of that here. put this down here because I want to end this stream real soon. See, and they don't have to show unnecessary nudity or force, sexual violence. You don't need that. It's not necessary. Bound only had a little bit of that, but it wasn't overly. It wasn't as bad as 50 Shades or 365 Days or After. No, it's not abuse, mostly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least August is almost halfway done. Payphone, yeah. Landlines, nobody uses those anymore. They use cell phones now. I like to see films that actually look like a movie and not a video game cutscene or a demo reel. Excuse me. It's getting intense. Yep, there's blood everywhere, yeah. Practical blood. I don't like to see the CGI blood that looks terrible. It takes me out of the movie because it looks like a video game blood, like in a mature game like Call of Duty or something. Or Grand Theft Auto. Yep. The security guards dead. This third act is way more tension filled than any horror movie this year. Here we go. And it's not an action movie, but it's a thriller that works because there's a lot of tension and really good performances by Lara Flynn Boyle and Timothy Hutton and Oliver Platt and most of the rest of the cast. Faye Dunaway. There's somebody that's terrible here. Steven Weber's my least favorite actor, but he's not horrible here. Like watch him in the Fairly Odd Parents movie, Grow Up Timmy Turner. He's awful in that. He's such a cartoon character that he's not even from the show, and he's awful in it. Charlene is the main villain of the movie. She hit her right in the head. Oh, man. Hit her with a book. He's knocked out. It's like the scene at the end of the Terminator. Remember with when he's hitting the T-800 with the pipe? That's a pretty intense scene because, again, that's when James Cameron cared. Not just about the effects, but about his characters. Mm-hmm. Some people just don't want to lose their position. Fade. Spear. Yep, gotcha. Faye Dunaway's the villain? You don't say. After when the writer's strike ends, horror movies should show more tension. Yeah. Stop using CG and stop throwing jump scares in every 2 seconds. Good stunt work. Yep. Fatality. I had to say, you guys. I couldn't. Yeah, Faye Dunaway's the villain? You don't say. Like in Supergirl or even in Dunstan Checks In. Yeah. She usually likes playing villains or anti-heroes. In that, she doesn't die. Dunstan jumps right into her, right into a cake with her. I love that movie because she gets cake right in her face, and then the fat guy just falls on top of her, and it's hilarious. Yeah, she's gone. So Lara Flynn Boyle is not the villain; she's more like an anti-hero here. See, 90 minutes. You didn't need to waste another 30 minutes or another hour. Nolan, make your movies freaking shorter. Stop making them 2.5 hours. Three. And Maura Tierney's good in the movie too. Cute kid. I was a kid in 1993. I was 8. Beautiful hair. See, and it's a loving kiss. It's not. It's done with subtlety. And unlike a Shyamalan movie, the twist doesn't ruin the movie. Sometimes his movies, a twist will make, except for Sixth Sense, most of his movies that have a twist take you out of the movie. The Village and Lady in the Water and all that. Yeah, Thrifties. It's almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it a upstream in a little. Hutton really does a good performance. He carries this movie. Him and Lara Flynn Boyle. No, there's no sequel to this. Mm-hmm. Yep. There it is. Yep. And that's how the movie ends. See, she doesn't get killed, but she gets arrested. It's a good and simple ending. An hour and 33 minutes in. See, doesn't need to be 3 hours. Directors really need to know how to make tension-filled movies without dragging it out. And this movie does it really well. So, thanks for watching, Cinema Fan. You were the only one, you and Ethan. Thanks for watching this. I would say I recommend watching this on streaming because it's worth a watch. It's no masterpiece, but compared to some of the films we get now, it's at least competent, and it's short and well acted and well directed. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'm doing another podcast tomorrow of another film I'm doing. So I'll tell you what it is. See you later, guys. Acknowledge me, by the way. See ya. And end.